Hey my fellow targeted individuals, it is Wednesday and I just wanted to make a short video to tell you kind of how my day went today, because my guys on each side of me and the guy across the street, the directed energy beams have stopped being effective from their houses. So the guy that's next to me who's moderating the whole thing, he uses satellite on me in my house, and then still uses the V2K to say, he wants me out of here and all that stuff to kind of psychologically psych me out. So I woke up this morning and I went to the bathroom, and that's when I can hear kind of the voice of Skull. Right when I look in the mirror to just wash my face and wake up, it's like I hear his voice. Oh, he's crazy, we're gonna get him out of here. Oh, I told you he was crazy. So it's all this junk, it's this reinforcement to make me feel crazy, to make me feel retarded. And so then I went to run some errands to get some dog food and food for myself. And I can kind of hear it in my car a little bit, muffled, because I've got the Q-Wave Defenders, 3 of them, and then a car defender, which is worth about 3 personal defenders. So I can hear mumbling. Like if I really pay attention, I can kind of hear it, but not good. And also, one thing that I wanted to mention, I put the aluminum polyester on the top of my car and pinned it in there. And you can barely tell. You can't tell from the outside of the car that it's pinned on the top. So that's a good idea. If you are being remote neural monitored, and you do have satellite terrorism going on, where there's satellite hitting you with the EMF, it's good to do that in your car, to go ahead and put that aluminum polyester on the top of the car. But so I just wanted to say, it's like, so I wake up and he's been doing it all night. Which I want to go ahead and make a little footnote there. With the V2K, it sounds like he is always awake. It sounds like it's always the ex-military guy, on the V2K, actually doing it, actually shooting it at me. But what I think actually happens, I think that they record certain phrases, and then he'll go to sleep, and a young man hangs out with them, some other people hang out with them, and he'll, they'll fill in for him. Actually trying to shoot through my defenses and shoot at me while playing a loop of stuff he's already said. And so I think that's a really good reason. And like I said, I have a lot of trouble with not talking to him, because I ramble and I'm like, man, I'm a U.S. citizen. This doesn't make sense why you're doing this. You're like, creating all this evil and chaos when there's so many people in the world who need help. It's like, I try to explain to him, because in my job, like right now, what I'm doing is raising money for sick kids. And it's like, it makes money to research their diseases so they can get better, so they don't have to die when they're kids. And it's like, he's trying to stop me from doing this, and he's trying to give me cancer. With this, with the EMF frequencies and everything, it's like he's going backwards. Like there's so many people to help in the world. But anyway, I'll just interject that. So I think that's another reason to not to respond to him, because sometimes the voice of Skull will be just a loop of certain phrases and things that they think make you mad. So you'll be responding just to a artificial loop voice. Then I got back home, and I was going to do a little work, because I work for home. I'm making some lists to make money for sick kids, actually. So I'm working on that for a couple of hours, and they're just like, trying to find better places to beam me from, and hit me in the head while I'm actually doing my work. Because if you try and do anything productive, they'll try and stop you. They don't want you to do anything productive. It doesn't matter if it can save lives. It doesn't matter if it can do good in the world. They don't want you to do anything with your life. But so then, so I finished that, and it's like all day long. If I go to the bathroom or if I'm, here, in the center in my enclosure, I can't hear anything, and I can't feel anything. So I'm thankful for that. And that's mostly because the aluminum polyester, the corrugated steel, painted with aluminum. So I'm thanking God for that. But it does get through. Like if I go to the edges of my house, I can hear it. And then on the other side, if I just wake up during the night, if I just wake up and roll over, these guys, like I'll hear something like a mumbling V2K, and I'll have to pay attention to it because I'm in the center in my little enclosure. But like I'll have to pay attention, but it'll be like from the Latino gentleman's side, it'll be like, "You're crazy, man. You're crazy," And I'm just waking up to roll over or waking up to go to the bathroom or something like that. So it's like this illusion of omnipresence is what you call it. Like it's like they want you to think that they're everywhere all the time. And the guy the ex-military guy who's the moderator for my gang stalking, he's the leader. It sounds like he's always on his wall. He's always pointing the directed energy weapons at me, and he's always, talking, like even like night and day, night and day, night and day. And so that's why I would say it's pretty much 100% that a lot of that's looping, and they have people to step in for them, and he wants to seem like, like he doesn't even go to sleep. He doesn't even go to sleep, and he's gonna, get me out of here. He's gonna, he's like this supreme guy who doesn't even need sleep because he's so strong or something. But they're just humans too, like us. And let's see, I don't know, I think they were hitting me in the back, because my back was hurting when I was working, but it may have just been the way I was sitting. I'm not sure. It hurt my back. I don't know, I have to sit in my enclosure on a bed, and I can't really get a good position for my back, so it's probably just that. Let's see, what else? What other tips I have for you? Yeah, I just wanted to mention, the Mylar on the roof. If you are remote neural monitored, and you're driving around and you're getting high pitched noises and you're getting beams, it is good to like pin some aluminum polyester to your roof. And you can't really see it. And it's like people do weird stuff with their cars and their roofs, and nobody's really even noticed it on mine, who's driven with me in the car. Yeah, and the poison thing, it's like I drive up from doing any kind of errand because they know where I'm going. They surveil me 24 hours a day. Like, you guys know how it is. And, like, I drive up in the driveway, and I start smelling that sewage smell. Now, when you start smelling that sewage smell in your car, make sure that your air conditioner's off, because if it's sucking air from the outside, make sure to turn it off, or make sure to turn your air conditioner to where it's cycling the air in the car. And I don't know how many people have to deal with this in gang stalking. I haven't heard a lot about it in the testimonials, and my guys didn't do it until I had a conversation with my consultant from California who's trying to help me, and that's all they do to her. They just poison her, and then 2 days later, it starts up. 2 days later, I start smelling a hamburger smell, start smelling sewage smells outside. But the thing is, it's like, this thing is, built to make you look crazy. So it's like, oh, maybe I talked to her, and then I just started imagining that. That's what my dad said. He was like, well, you probably just talked to her, and you're imagining that you're smelling it because of, because you're pretty paranoid about them attacking you. And it could look like that, couldn't it? It's like all this stuff. It could just look like you're just so paranoid. You're just imagining things, paranoid because they're attacking you one way, that you're just imagining another. And it was funny. It was actually really, really funny that, I told my dad about, what was going on pretty much every step of the way. And, we got past the EMF emitters, like the emitters that would emit into a full room, and I was able to get stuff to neutralize it completely. And, then I was like, and then I told him about the directed energy weapons and the heat beams. and and it really was. I mean, it was really happening. And then I remember one day we had a conversation, and he was like, the next thing you're going to be telling me, Kyle, is that there's a satellite involved or something like that. And, like, there really was. Like, after that, you know, I found out I was being remotely neural monitored and being hit long range. So it's like this thing is, like, catered to where it looks like you're just crazy, you know? Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of smart evil, clever evil. But, yeah, the technology does exist, and it was funny. I mean, I didn't harp on it too much, but he's like, next thing you know, you're going to be telling me that they have a satellite on you. And so I kept it to myself. Like, I didn't even realize that they had a satellite on me for a few months while it was still going on. And the people at the apartment where it started, they had that capability too, and I didn't even think about that. I thought maybe it was something in my car, you know, or they followed me physically, but that had been going on pretty much, probably, I guess, like 3 months into my gang stalking, if not the entire time. Because I would go to extended stays, and I would hear the high-pitched sound, and then I would hear, like, people walking up above me. And then, like, I think that's what they were doing. They were trying to actually make it seem like someone above me was doing it to me, but actually doing it remotely. So, I mean, those guys were genius monster people. I mean, genius evil. You know, because I had no idea. I was like, man, maybe some people, you know, followed me over here or something. But they know. I mean, these guys got some treacherous tricks. So you've got to, like, you know, cover your butt on all sides. And it's going to probably look like paranoia sometimes, but if you just watch out for yourself and it works, then it's not paranoia if you're saving your life. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to say kind of how my day goes. I wake up, and that's the first thing they're gonna try and do is rip you down. It's just they want to get you when you're up. They want to get you when you're asleep and when you're waking up. And when you're using the bathroom, and when you're in the bathtub, your most vulnerable positions, that's where this guy likes to get me. You know, if I'm on the toilet, or, you know, if I'm in the bathtub, or if I'm sleeping, you know. And when you're asleep, that's the biggest time you need to be defended around with all the aluminum and aluminum polyester. You need to make sure you've got, you know, maybe some thermal blankets covering you. These like, you can buy these for $20 at Bass Pro and Cabela's down where I live. But I'm sure just a sporting goods store where there's camping stuff, you know, these are great. You could probably just do with them. Like, during the night, you could just cover up with one of them and probably not hear the voice skull or get any direct energy weapon pinpointed hits on you. You know, but when you sleep, that's when they're going to try and get you, because most of these weapons have to sit on your skin or part of your body before you even start feeling the effects. So if you're walking around your house, you're continually moving and everything like that, then it's not going to be too bad. I did want to say an interesting thing about making the like painting the walls aluminum and putting up the aluminum enclosure. Sometimes, and I think I've said this in previous videos, like sometimes I'll feel the beam hit. I'll feel it hit wherever they're going for, and it'll last for a couple of seconds, maybe like 10 seconds or so, and then it dissipates, because basically that initial beam will go through even the aluminum, but then it'll start shucking off of it. So it's not a one-for-one. It's not like the beam goes to the aluminum and bounces off. It's like it'll go through it, and then it'll kind of start neutralizing it, which is weird. I don't know if anybody knows the science about that, you know, about how these beams work and how powerful they can get. Because there's one thing that I would like to know, if somebody can help me out, you know, because I built my enclosure, I'd block it off, and then they would seem to get past it, and it's like, I don't understand why they didn't just go full blast from the beginning. It's like, I don't see how I'd stop them, and then, you know, they would get through whatever defense I had then. You know, it'd take them a while, and then I would just put more aluminum or something, and then they would get through that defense. They would either get more or power it up. So if somebody can explain that, like, I don't understand why they didn't just go full blast from the beginning, and then it's like, then I would have to, defend against the most powerful of it, or if they just get more, and that causes it to be able to go through aluminum more effectively. If anybody knows that kind of, because I had an arms race. This has been an arms race with these guys, like where, they'll shoot stuff at me. I'll put my defenses up, and I'll be comfortable for like a week. Then they'll get through it somehow, and then I would build more. Right now it seems pretty stable. It's like I've got a cumulative effect on all my aluminum polyester and my aluminum painted corrugated steel. So it seems pretty solid. But I don't know. Can they just go out and get a bunch more guns and then point them all like in an inward angle? Like kind of point them all like Ghostbusters, kind of crossing the streams or something. I don't know. Tell me if I'm crazy on that one. Because I bet all you guys have experienced that. If you're getting the directed energy weapons, that you like try and defend yourself, and then they kind of get past your defenses. I guess that's it. It was sleeting here, so I got out on the road and it's icy, and people are, where I live, they aren't used to snow or sleet. And it's like, I'm just thinking, this guy, they're trying to poison me right when I walk out the door. They're trying to poison me when I come back in. They're trying to shoot directed energy beam weapons at my head while I'm in the car. And I'm just thinking, it's like, this guy's going to cause me to get into a wreck. This is dangerous. It's going to hurt a lot of people. It's like, I don't see how he doesn't understand that this could, like, hurt a lot of people, or he doesn't care, But, I guess you'll never understand that. You sit here and trying to understand the people who are trying to murder you. You'll just go round and round. And I'm going to say that they're listening to me do these videos, so I get punished. I've been getting punished for this. But I don't care, because I love you guys out there and I want to support you. I want to give you information, and even if it screws me over, I'm smart enough to build up defenses to deal with whatever they're going to do to me. But I did listen to a podcast about psychopaths, and I'm not, like, I don't want to say this guy's a psychopath because he will punish the crap out of me. But the thing is, it's like, it said that psychopaths, you just have to get away from them. So that's just on my point. I'm not calling this guy psychopath or the people on the other side of psychopath. Like, I don't want to judge them. I want to get away from them. But that's what it said you have to do. So talking back to these guys who do this, and I'm not saying they're psychopaths. I'm just saying what I've seen from them are psychopathic tendencies towards me. So what I need to do is ignore them and try and get away from them. And if I can't get away from them physically by leaving this house because they're going to follow me, I need to shut my mouth and stop, interacting with them. That's why the interaction never works, because with a psychopath, and I'm not saying these guys are psychopaths, man. This one guy has a family. But it's like, if you give them any reaction, even if you're being nice or funny, or you're trying to spin it to where, just put humor in it, or ask questions, it's always going to be, he's going to just be like, oh, it's working. It's working. I got a reaction, and then he's going to get more entwined with that relationship. So I think my guys, I don't know if they're full-fledged psychopaths. I mean, obviously murdering somebody in their house, a little messed up, a little messed up on, I'm looking at it's very messed up, very messed up. But these guys, you probably just want to ignore them and go on about your life, defend yourself. And, I want to say, like, I can't move because he'll follow me and he has network set up. But if you have an instinct and it's early on in this and you think you can get out of there and get to another place, I would really recommend that. I wouldn't recommend staying around and waiting for it to build up, because that's what I did. I was trapped in this house, one guy on one side and one guy on the other side, kept torturing me just incessantly for half a year before they brought anybody else into it. So by then they had me, they had slow rolled me pretty good. He's actually, right now he's hit me in the throat. He's actually hitting me in the throat. I can feel it burning. And he's done this when I was at my parents' house. He's done it when I was eating chicken. And I'd feel like a burning in my throat, and then I can't swallow. Right now I don't have food in there, so I can swallow. But I had to actually walk 10 feet away. And also, if they hit you in the throat, if you're remote neural monitored and they're hitting you with EMF beams in your throat, you can go like this. You can kind of just put your hand in front of it, because any satellite beams are going to be coming down. They're going to be coming down from an angle, and what happens is these satellites aren't in the same position all the time. It's not a satellite just for me. These satellites are actually probably used to study topography. They're probably used for a lot of other stuff, like mapping and GPSing things. It's probably used for all these other things, and these guys just, they have access to it. So the satellite's not going to be in the same position, most of the time. So it'll come down, and it always comes down at an angle. So remember that. It's not directly on top of you. It's somewhere in the sky, being used somewhere else, for something else. And they just tap into it to do this, because you can take, just like you can take a person, and I'm going to study this. I'm going to study this a lot, so I can tell y'all maybe more on how it works. But when they shoot the EMF radiation down, it picks up, it reads, it can read topography, the ground, grass and hills and everything like that. It bounces the signal back up. It bounces the signal back up to the satellite to tell the satellite, what's down there. So it beams down, takes a read, bounces back up. That's how this microwave energy works, and that's exactly what they're doing to humans when they remotely target you and you're remotely neural monitored. They're shooting that microwave radiation down at you, at your head, and it's bouncing back up to that satellite to give it a read. And I'm not sure what they can read off a human being. I know that they probably surveil you through that means, because I've had times where I went kayaking and I had nothing on me. I went kayaking in Florida. I had no wallet, no credit card, no phone. I had nothing on me. I was in a wetsuit with just me and my glasses, and I'm pretty sure I haven't been chipped, because none of my doctors would have done that. Maybe, but I doubt it. And I'm out in the middle of the water in a kayak, and I can hear the V2K, and I can feel the area around my head where he's creating the EMF field. So basically they surveil you with this EMF radiation, with the EMF energy. It's I've heard stories about HARP and how it'll shoot down to the ground. It gets a read on the plates underneath the dirt, and then it sends it back up. So they can read topography, they can shoot into the atmosphere, and see and get a read on the weather and things like that. And it seems like if they can do a read, can they affect the weather? Can they affect the topography? Can they create earthquakes? And a human being, if they can get a read on your brain, can they send signals to your brain? Can they do something that would, make you depressed, or make you have to use the bathroom, or make you, feel a sensation in your legs? So it's all based on that microwave energy, and that's what we have to learn about, and we have to and people have to talk about that. And it's a new technology that's beyond sci-fi. You look at Star Trek and Star Wars, and even that stuff is pretty is not as good as that technology. If you can use an EMF energy to read and to map things, and then it's like if you can map the landscape, then can you map parts of the human brain? And I think they have it on a really rudimentary level, like where they can maybe see. And I don't know about this. This is just a theory because I know I'm being remotely neural monitored. But they can see stuff that goes through the visual cortex. And what we do, in our visual cortex, we have memories that flash by, thoughts that flash by. They're all random reflex thoughts. And what I think is if it does do that, if it picks up a read on those visual cortex thoughts, somebody can really make you look bad because you're going to have a bunch of random thoughts that who knows what you're thinking about, especially if you're a guy. Well, that's pretty much it. If anybody can send me information on the poisoning they put through the pipes, like how to call out a water guy or something like that, or how to avoid that, or what better ways to deal with that, I'd really appreciate it. That's about it. I'll make some more videos and talk to you guys. I hope you enjoy my other videos. I know I'm talking real fast and kind of babbling. I don't want to write anything right now. I'm just getting my just kind of rambling, and some good stuff should come out. I don't know, but you guys know how it is. It's like these guys get to you. They mess with you all day, and you're not left with much at the end of the day. But I still want to make these videos. God bless you all. I love you. I love the people who subscribe to my channel. And get in touch with me, VulcanWolverine at gmail.com, if you have any questions about defending yourself or just the way they go about things. Like the one point that I would like to reiterate. I don't think it's a very good idea to talk to your attackers. That just means when they hear you talking, they don't listen to what you say. They say it's working. That's what they say in their mind. They're like, it's working. And you just want to, if you can't physically get away from them because they're going to follow you or something like that, then you want to remove yourself mentally from them as far as possible. And once you remove yourself mentally and you start focusing on outward things, the voice of skull is reduced. It's reduced even if you don't have great defenses. Like I have awesome defenses. I can't hear anything in my enclosure. But even if you don't, and you can still hear the voice of skull, it's a mind over matter. Start doing something like playing a video game or reading a book, something outside of your head, because it's an inner kind of dialogue, and you can easily beat it by paying attention to the stuff outside. I want to show y'all this. Like, my enclosure is pretty cool, but I have all this tape. You see, I tape it. I tape the aluminum polyester up at the top, and then all the aluminum polyester on the sides. If somebody can give me better ideas on how to build this, or how to put this stuff together, that would hold it better, like super glue or something, I don't know. But if anybody has any ideas on that, please leave a comment or send me an email. Because like I kind of have to monitor, and if I turn on the heat, like I've had to have the heat on for the last couple of nights because it's so cold where I live, it'll hit that tape, my duct tape, and it'll fall down. So I think tying it might be better, but I do things real fast, and I'm just like, oh, just tape it up there, but then in the long run I end up having to keep fixing it. If I would have just done it the right way the first time, Oh, right now. Okay, let me see. Right now, I want to record this incident. Yeah, see, I'm walking to my front room. Here's my front door and the shades, and it smells like sewage. And it's like, it's not, this doesn't happen all the time. Like, my house doesn't smell like sewage all the time. So this is happening right now. They're trying, they blow some kind of toxin through the pipes, and that's happening right now. So I want to show you what I do. I go to my kitchen sink, turn on the water, and I'll go ahead and go to the bath. I usually don't turn on the bathroom sink, but I will this time. Turn on the bathroom sink, flush the toilet. Maybe go ahead and put some Lysol down the drain. You know, just to make sure it's clean. Leave that on for a second. Leave it on for like a couple minutes, and then, since it's in this room, since it's in this front room, and I don't know how many of you guys deal with this. Maybe not a lot, because I don't even think they would have thought of it if they wouldn't have heard me talking about it on the phone with my consult. But so in the front room, I try and spray around the front door and the front blinds. You know, just the front, because it's actually, if I walked outside, it would be a stronger smell there. So it's basically, you know, the smell blowing through the pipes on my outside, and it seeps in. And it seeps in through these, through my floor right here. I kind of go back. I can try and cut it off there. And now, if you have your water on, it should, like, in a couple minutes, like, I'm talking like 3 minutes, it should go away. I don't like this. It seems so sad. It's like this guy is trying to kill me 24 hours a day, and it's like, you know, I can fight it and fend up, but it's like, I feel like a huge loser. You know, I want to go about my life. I can't believe this is even happening in America. This guy is just like, and people are accepting it in the neighborhood. I mean, he's got the lady next door to him, a young guy that hangs out with him, the guy across the street, you know, the Latino gentleman, the two older ones and a young one in the other house, and they accept it. You know, they're just like, yeah, this guy's crazy, let's get him out of here. And none of them have ever met me. Like, I only met the guy, the ex-military guy, who's the moderator for it, after he started torturing me. So I don't know how this stuff starts. You know, I don't know how they just hate me, like, by surveilling me. It's like he's watching me use the bathroom, and he just starts to hate me the way that I use the bathroom. You know, what's the big idea here? I don't know. But another room, that front room in there, it's usually just the front. This room in here, they can get the smell. They can get the smell in too, because it's basically coming in from the front yard. Like, it doesn't happen in the back that often. Or I'll walk out into the back and it actually is bad in the backyard, but it doesn't come in for some reason. You know, because I think that the guy next door, or no, the guy across the street from the front of my house, he's a plumber. Like, he has a plumber truck and everything, and so I'm pretty sure he's the one who helps him. Like, when he comes home, like, it'll be after 5, and then it'll start really happening heavily. So these other guys kind of do it, but they kind of rely on him for his expertise. And I've never even met the guy, but I mean, I think he's involved, and he's kind of okay with it. You know, they're okay with either killing me or getting me out. I don't know how humans, I don't know how we got to this point, because it's like, the world's bad, but is it that bad that we're just gonna kill some innocent guy in his house? Like, why do they even care about me? I have no idea. But he spends all day doing it. And this is the bathroom I'll come into. I come in this bathroom in the morning. And when I come in this bathroom, I will always hear some V2K. I haven't been able to, I mean, I have to really pay attention. It's very muffled. Like, see right now, okay, in here. It's muffled. I can't even tell what they're saying. And I can feel a little beam on this side from the guy across the street, across the front, but it goes away. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, then goes away. Because you see, I've got aluminum here, and then I've got, so he has to come through. He has to come through the brick on the house. He's got to come through this aluminum, this aluminum right here on this wall, and this aluminum. So the initial beam actually goes through the aluminum, but then it'll start shucking off of that aluminum. I'm going to study that too. I'm going to study that so I'll know, maybe figure out some ideas where you don't even have to feel the initial beam. You can just, just cut it off. It'll bounce it off. I think mirrors do that. I think mirrors, the stuff doesn't even go through. It just bounces off. But then certain materials, it'll go through initially and then shuck off and be neutralized. That's it. I guess that's it for today. I can't think of anything else. Just the thing that I wanted to convey, I guess, was just every day. It's every day. When I wake up to when I go to sleep. And it's like I'm working, I'm just sitting there working, and I hear, a little bit of the V2K, like, yeah, he's crazy. So they're watching me work. They're watching me just do some good work, entering in data, and and the guy's like, I told you he's crazy, like all this stuff. So, and I'm sure a lot of it is on a loop, and that's what I also want to convey, because the guy, like, if what was going on, if I heard his voice, let me get that light out of the way, if I heard his voice, 24 hours a day, and it's been going on for about a year, there's no way. There's just no way he could have stayed up that entire time. And the only times he could have slept were when I went to Florida, and then he got people down there to kind of help him. There's just no way. So it's on a looping. So when you're responding to something, like, you know that you could just be responding to a recording of a voice, and it doesn't even I talked to him out in the backyard. And he put on this thick country accent, because he's trying to gaslight me. He's trying to put on a thick country accent, but then he talks pretty regular from the V2K. So, these guys use tricks to try and make you feel crazy and whatever. I mean, they can just use any little trick like that to sound a little bit different. I even hear that they could, get my voice and make it sound like my voice or the voice of God or whatever. But it never, you know what your own voice sounds like, and you know that if you went crazy, what it would probably sound like. It wouldn't be some guy wanting you out of your house or arguing with his wife, or some Latino gentleman speaking with a little bit of an accent saying, that you're crazy, man. So, it's like, I know if I went crazy, I know I would hear some very, very interesting stuff. It would be interesting stuff. And these guys, they're just like, very banal. It's like, you're fucking crazy. You're effing crazy. Sorry about the cussing. So And I'd like to reiterate that to myself. I'm telling myself and y'all, don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. Unless you have an instinct that you can turn them, or they just got this equipment and they're trying to make the decision whether they should do this or not. If it's like that, and you think you can, convince them, go for it. Go with your instincts. But for me, it's just like anything I say, the guy's just thinking it's working. We've got a reaction out of him. And when I don't talk and I don't say anything, he'll get more accusatory and, tell people that I'm crazy. So then I can't even defend myself. So he's got me in this position where, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. And sometimes, I guess I do, because I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. So I just do. I go ahead and talk to him. But really what I'm going to do, I am going to start just making these videos and talking to you guys. I love you all. Y'all have been very supportive. Like, I haven't gotten one negative comment. And my psychiatrist was all worried. He was like, just don't burn yourself out. If you get a negative comment, don't let it hurt your feelings. And gosh, I wish he could hear what these people are saying to me on the voice skull, or what they're just dialoguing in their house. Sometimes most of the times he's not even talking directly to me. Sometimes he'll try and make a joke, I guess, and he'll go, Satan, because he knows I'm really religious. So he'll go, Satan. But he kind of stopped that because it's so ridiculous. Like, I know it's him. I know he's like trying to, it's just ridiculous. It's not scary. It's not anything like that. So it's like, I guess he realizes that it's more scary for him to be talking about people about me, and so he just does that. He just does the dialogue thing. Probably puts it on a loop at night so he can sleep, and gets some of the people that hang out with him to take turns on it. And they've definitely, I mean, they bought it hook, line, and sinker. Like, I guess if you surveil somebody and they're doing whatever they do in their house, you know, you can make people hate them. But I wish I could get away from it. That's my greatest wish, is that I just want to get away from him, because he's destroying my life. You know, he's ripping apart my finances. I've spent like $6,000 to $7,000 on just stuff to defend, you know, against him. And it's like he's done all this stuff to me. You know, he's hurt my family relationships. He's hurt my health. I have Crohn's disease. I have an autoimmune disease. So I'm already susceptible to stomach cancer, and I'm already susceptible to every kind of cancer you can get, because my family has a history of cancer. And then this guy's beaming to my genitals and my head, you know, EMF radiation. And it's constant during the day. It's like I have neutralizing tools, but how much do they neutralize? Because it's like if I don't feel anything, the EMF's still coming through. So it's like a cell phone. You can't feel the EMF radiation from a cell phone, but you're still getting some in your body. So it's like I'm neutralizing this guy a lot. You know, I'm neutralizing him a good bit to where I don't feel it. But even though I don't feel it, it's probably about, you know, a couple hundred times of what a cell phone puts out, and you don't feel it. So, you know, I mean, that's pretty dark, you know, for him to do that. I just don't get it. It seems like a waste of time. I understand they want to, you know, practice with these microwave weapons, because whatever country, you know, gets, you know, knows how to use them, they'll win wars, or they'll be able to overpower other countries or something like that. But it's like you could just test it on animals, or you can get volunteers to just test it on for short terms of time, for short amount of time. You know, I think what they really want to find out is how long it takes for somebody to get cancer. I think actually, I'll tell you my theory. I'll go ahead and jump out here and tell you a theory. My theory is that this is a bunch of little organizations like the NSA and FBI, not little organizations, but, you know, organizations that want intelligence. The CIA, the FBI, NSA, Homeland Security, and these weapons somehow get into the hands of these watchers, ex-military, ex-CIA, ex-FBI, FBI agents, you know, firemen, policemen. And I think what these people in our government and all these agencies, they don't do something to find out one thing. They don't do something to just see how quickly it could give somebody cancer. They do something, and they want to find out a bunch of things. So they want to find out how many communities will be able to, you know, be coaxed into actually murdering somebody, how quickly that can happen. They want to see the reactions of the person that's actually being attacked. They want to see how quickly their life degrades, how quickly their finances degrade, how quickly their family relationships degrade. They want that. And they want to test how quickly these EMF frequency weapons can give cancer to somebody. And they want to do a bunch of other stuff too. They want to just, they're testing us all. We're all guinea pigs. So they're using this guy who's, you know, shooting this stuff at me. They're using me, you know, they're using my family. They're using all of us just to find out things, just to find out how these weapons work, and how people will accept them or not accept them. I think the best thing that people could do is just be like, oh, you want me to kill my neighbor, my U.S. citizen neighbor? No way, get out of here. You know, and just show them that we're not going to do it. You know, show these little agencies. But what's happening is, since 9/11 happened, a lot of stuff doesn't have to go through the courts. They can just use terrorism as an excuse, and it's been going on for so long that now it's being so abused that they can basically do anything and say, oh, it's just for terrorism. You know, we're just testing these weapons out because we need to use them against terrorists, but we're going to, you know, basically, you use the public as a guinea pig and see how they react to these weapons, the people that are using them and the people who are being victimized. And then it's weird because the U.S. in its history has always come out, and admitted, testing a lot of stuff, diseases like the Tuskegee experiments and other things. Like, so it'd be interesting if they came out and actually told the citizens, that this was being tested on them for a certain reason. I think some kind of breakthrough is coming soon. Some kind of breakthrough, because people aren't dumb. People understand that this technology exists. They know about HARP and how that can shoot into the atmosphere and bring signals back. I mean, they know that they can understand physics if you give them if you tell them about EMF frequencies and how it's a radiation, how it can basically kind of acts as an EEG on a human mind. There's so much stuff that's it's easily explainable once you just get past understanding what EMF is. Most people just don't know what EMF is. And that's our job. That's our job to tell them, I'm just going to go ahead. Like, I know there could be dire consequences for these videos, because I have a pretty, it's a public relations job pretty much. I do a good job, and I put these videos up anonymously, but I don't care, because, this is the worst victimization a person can have. Nobody deserves this. And trust me, you do not deserve this. You are special, and you're strong if you're going through this. I love you. More videos to come when I think of stuff. I probably forgot a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about. I ramble a lot, and I wanted to write stuff down so I would seem more professional, and so I could maybe give you guys more information. But I find that it's better if I just let it spill, and I'm just, I know it sounds kind of like this and that, but you get the point. You get the point of what of what I wanted to say. Love you guys. Stay strong. Keep building your enclosure. If it's not working, add on, because aluminum has a cumulative effect on these EMF frequencies. And sniff around sometimes. Sniff around your place, especially if you're in a house and your neighbors are going after you. I don't know about the apartment. The apartment, maybe they'll stay away from it. But if you smell sewage, or cooking hamburgers, or baking bread, and nobody's baking bread or cooking hamburgers, or spilling sewage all over the place, then you'll know that's what it is. They've been doing that a lot to me. Like right now, there's a strong sewage smell in my house. So, and I do. I mean, I have a bottle of rum, and I just fix myself a little drink, and I'll sip on it, to get the bacteria out. But I want to hear from you guys, because I don't want to drink. Like, I want to, just get something to take away the bacteria. Is there any kind of drink? Is that, I'm thinking that, like, that airborne stuff, that you take when you're, going on a plane to keep germs away. I think I might just go get some of that, because I end up drinking, like, a drink a night or something of rum or of vodka, and I don't think that's good. I need to, because it makes you look bad. They're surveilling you, so if you take a sip of a drink, or if you take a few shots or something like that, it's like, oh, I told you he was an alcoholic, he's crazy, he's raving mad. So you kind of have to be a little angel in your place. Don't give up the fun stuff, though. I mean, even if they're gonna judge you for that, because they'll probably judge you for anything. I mean, this guy's like murdering people. He's shooting radiation at my head, at my genitals. He's like putting poison in the streets where neighborhood kids are playing, and that doesn't seem to matter. But if I go use the bathroom, or if I pick up a cup, I'm freaking crazy, So you might as well sometimes enjoy yourself and do what regular humans do. because they're going to judge you for anything. It's just about getting to that place where you ignore them, and you just work I mean, we're human beings, so our impulse is to react when people are directing anything at us. We react. We're reactive human beings. Like, our brain is a reactive organism. So it's like somebody's constantly doing a voice to skull or something to you during the day. Your brain's response is to react to it. You want to react to it. But I feel you can get stronger and you can ignore that stuff and get through it. You can actually become stronger, evolve, and learn to focus on what's outside. Learn to focus on the important things. Put your energy there. If you are going to put your energy in gang stalking, make some videos, do something good for another person that's a victim of it. Get the word out, write about it, write about your experiences, even if it's just a journal and you're not going to make a book. Try and make a book and publish it. Get the information out there. If you're going to focus on it, find out as much information as you can to protect yourself. I love you guys. Stay strong. I'm going to go ahead and... This was supposed to be like a 15-minute video, but as you can tell, I ramble. I'm a rambling man. But please post your comments and email me if you need anything. If you need to know some information, or how much something costs to buy your defenses, or just if you need somebody to talk to. If you're in a bad position, I'll understand, because I've been there, and I'm still going into those bad places. I mean, this is an everyday torture, rape, ritual abuse thing that just doesn't go away. And I can't even leave my house to get away from it. So I understand, and I'll be there for you. Love you guys. God bless. God bless. And He has a way for us. So if you're really struggling, just pray. Pray, God, help me out of this, and then look around, because you are loved, and you are special. You're a human life. You've got potential. You got potential to do anything you want in life. Alright, I'll see you guys later. I'll be putting out some more videos soon. Take care. Defend yourself. Alright, bye-bye.